Hello and good morning. This is episode number 12 now in this series. And this is just a daily update on some things that I've been doing and working on. Um, so, I started several new habits. As you guys know, I've been kind of reading and rereading um, the book Atomic Habits by James Clear and kind of trying to implement some of the suggestions that he gives in that book. Um, and I wanted to actually share a problem that I'm trying to tackle in this way in some detail because I think it might be helpful to people. Essentially, the problem that I face is procrastination. So I don't generally do work that I find tedious, monotonous, or boring until the very last moment, like right before the deadline. Um, and so that trait is is you know deep set and to some degree, and is something I've struggled with for a long time, um, and it's something that has put a lot of stress on my life because you can imagine um, that if you're constantly leaving important things till the very last minute, that period when you're procrastinating it does become very stressful, especially if it's like a really big project or something like that. Doing it at the very last moment is can be brutal. So that was sort of the main negative trait, or a pretty negative trait that was affecting my life. I would say more than any other single trait negatively affecting my life. So really, that was the central problem that I wanted and needed to tackle um, with these interventions that I'm trying. And so the strategy that I'm trying to use to do that is um, this micro habit technique. So the way that I do it is I essentially drive to grounds to the university and park where I can, and walk to the library, and then sit down and do 2 minutes of work, and then after the 2 minutes of work have elapsed, get up and walk away, and just doing that over and over and over again. And I don't necessarily force myself to leave exactly after 2 minutes. If there's a really good reason for me to keep working a little longer, I'll do it. But um, I will. But if there isn't like a pressing reason to stay, I'll just leave exactly after 2 minutes. Um, and I'm trying to repeat that as many times as possible. I've already done it 13 times, repeated this process, and uh, and so it does mean that I spend most of my day walking, but I mean, on the plus side, I do get some work done actually, eh, which is surprising. You wouldn't think you would be able to do much in 2 minutes, but you can actually do a significant amount, uh, more than I certainly more than I was expecting, and also, but the main thing really, so you're getting some work done instead of no work done, which is good. But the main thing is you're building up that habit of being able to do that, and that's really what essentially I'm banking on. So, um, yeah, so I'll just continue this process. I'm trying to get to 66 times to do the 66 times because I was reading online and it was like um, for how long it usually takes before an habit becomes sort of automatic, and people were saying around 66 times, like around that range. So I had that as sort of a personal benchmark. Um, so that's what I'm doing with that. Um, Other than that, I've also been introducing a bunch of other habits regarding my sleep, regarding my food. So I'm trying with my food to so over the last week or so, I've been implementing more habits around eating. to make sure that I am eating, 3 times a day. Um, and so now I'm sort of trying to tweak that um, to have foods that don't upset my stomach or trigger some sort of reaction in my stomach and make me feel, kind of sick. So I cut out some foods and I've replaced them. The way I do it now is I have cereal with milk in the morning and an apple and coffee. And then in the evening, I usually order food if available, or maybe have some sort of microwavable meal. Um, and then and also have coffee as long as it's before noon. And then and at around dinner time, I'll have another sort of microwavable meal or prepared meal that I prepare myself. So that's pretty much it. Uh, all of that, of course, is slightly difficult to coordinate because I'm in a hotel right now because of the whole apartment flooding situation. So that's that, but we're working on that, and I think it's getting better. Like I'm getting better at doing that stuff, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's that. For sleeping, I cut down on caffeine usage, especially past noon. So I'm trying to not drink coffee past noon so that I can sleep better. I've been using the melatonin more. I got eye shades so that I could, it could be darker when I'm sleeping, so I could sleep easier and longer. Um, yeah, and so those are the kind of and and now I'm actually going to try to also have um kind of a stricter sleeping schedule and or a more consistent sleeping schedule, like to have a time to go to bed and a time to wake up. I'm thinking go to bed sort of around 11 p.m. and wake up around 7. That seems pretty reasonable. Um, so that's there too. So that's pretty much it in terms of eating, in terms of sleeping, um, and and also I'm trying to make this podcast a daily habit as well. Like I want to be able to give daily updates because this is essentially the way that I'll try to have it be the way that I strategize on what I want to do, but also a way that I can discuss or talk through some of what life is about, like the whole question of a philosophy of life, coming up with a philosophy of life that can work. So I hope that this podcast can be a means by which I can do that. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. In my personal life, there have been some updates. Um, so for example, I ended up, it seems like I'm going to actually have to take another class, which just kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And I let my advisor know about the graduation date, about the job offer, so that's good too. And that's pretty much it for now. So that's all. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow and wish me luck. All right, bye.